You couldn't make this up if you tried. Do you remember the illegal migrant that was at the centre of the Epping Hotel protests because of the assault on the 14-year-old girl? He was then sentenced to prison, and despite all of the Epping Hotel protests and the High Court case and everything else, this guy has now accidentally been released from prison because of human error. The prison source apparently has said that this is a human error. He's been wrongly categorised as a prisoner due to be released on licence rather than a foreign offender scheduled to transfer to a removal centre. So he's on the run, and David Lammy is apparently furious because of his accidental release. Now, I am going to get this in early, and I'm going to say they had better not dare even to hint that this could have been prevented with digital ID, because that's where I think we're going. And I think there's a lot of people don't accept this at the moment. Now, let's just move to a few things here. Priti Patel says Labour are to blame for the shocking release of illegal foreign dangerous sex offender now on the streets of Essex. They've got serious questions to answer about his release from prison. We have other people as well saying that they just don't frankly believe that he was accidentally released from prison. Adam Brooks here says that he's been sent footage which is believed to be this guy, the Epping migrant Hadush Kabatu, filmed by a member of the public. Still, it appears in prison greys, the grey tracksuit behind there. Appears to be this guy. At least that's what someone has told Adam Brooks here. And Dan Wootton doesn't believe that it was accidental either. At least that's what I gleaned from his post here. As if Hadush Kabatu was accidentally released. Our leaders and the authorities are now openly laughing in our face, he says. They allow the invaders in, they allow the invaders to assault our daughters, and now they allow the invaders to escape custody. I've had enough. And so this is frankly laughable. But as I said, it really had better not be used as an excuse to push digital ID, because that is what is all over their social media today. I know I've done a video about this already today, but you see posts like this, they are being community noted all over the place. It says on the left from the Labour Party, without digital ID. And they've got driving licenses in the back and letters and the passport and everything else. And on the right hand side, it says with digital ID, just your phone. As though that's going to prevent things if your phone gets stolen and everything is on it, right? But obviously, you still need your passport, you still need your driving license, you still need all the other forms of ID. And this has been community noted, and there's all sorts of posts by Labour and its ministers that are being community noted here, including Keir Starmer himself. Back to that in a minute. And so it says here, this suggests that the introduction of digital ID will mean that you no longer need a passport, driving license, or other forms of ID. This is misleading. You still need these. So we have these posts here making these stupid statements here with and without digital ID and being community noted, because of course you still need to keep these. Now, the reason this is important is because someone somewhere is possibly going to believe that you don't need your passport and you don't need your driving license after digital ID. Now, many of you might think that's ridiculous. No one would think that. Well, if that were the case, we wouldn't have signs like the Ricky Gervais jokes. We wouldn't have signs on the back of a bleach bottle saying "do not drink," because that suggests that at some point, somewhere, somehow, someone has decided to drink it, not realizing it was dangerous. All of this, of course, not long after David Lammy said that this migrant returning to the UK on a boat after being sent to France under the one-in, one-out scheme proved that the plan is working. But then, as promised, we come back to Keir Starmer, because he too has had his posts community noted on X. This was the post where he said, I recently spoke with someone buying a house with their partner, told me that they had to pay to verify who they were. And the community note, as I said in my video earlier today, says anti-money laundering checks are a legal requirement to verify the buyer and the seller. Whilst the verification is mandatory, the practice of charging buyers is not standard. Some estate agents do charge buyers for AML checks, through third-party providers, but others perform the checks at no no cost. And of course, many of the solicitors and various firms will do this at no cost as well, because it is something they have to do, and they will still have to do. Even if there is digital ID, they'll still have to do AML checks, they'll still have to go through all these things, and ultimately I don't think it's going to save or change anything whatsoever. There's another one with virtually the same post in response here, when he says it's frustrating having to rummage around in a drawer looking for an old electricity bill just to open a new bank account. Well, that's flat out wrong anyway, because as the community note says here, you can't find an old electricity bill to open a new bank account. It's got to be within the last 3 months. So that post is wrong anyway. As the community note says, banks in the UK are legally required under AML and Know Your Customer checks to verify identity and address. A utility bill must be recent, usually less than 3 months old. An old electricity bill would not be accepted by any major bank. It's almost as though each and every one of these posts are just done quickly, lazily, and without really checking the wording. Now, okay, some people might say it's just a casual post, but again, lots of people will believe every word that is said here. And as a lawyer who looks at the wording of such things, I can tell you that the wording is really important. And again, here, trying to mislead you, where he says digital ID's got the potential to transform daily lives, and he does this video showing that most people are supportive of it, whereas the community note reads, according to the YouGov poll, that most Brits disapprove of digital ID, where it says many groups have raised genuine concerns about a slippery slope about digital ID. And again, post after post is being community noted. This one here, digital ID will be a huge help in tackling illegal immigration, but it's so much more than that, etc. He claims it empowers people to provide a new way to prove who you are, saving time and money applying for a mortgage, proving the right to rent check, personalised public services, all this sort of rubbish. And then the community note, most people require a national insurance number or passport to work legally in the UK. Employers who, and I've said this before, employers who do not check ID now are not likely to do so in the future, although it's widely acknowledged that digital ID is an assault on personal liberty, a part of a trend of this government. And these are the community notes that are quite notorious for being shot down when they are just attacking opinions and things like this, but these are now being posted on ministers and their parties' posts on X. It's quite a ridiculous situation to be in. But coming back to the point, but how on earth this guy's been released from prison is anyone's guess. The prison service said it's down to human error. Spokesperson says we're urgently working with the police to return an offender to custody following the release in error at HMP Chelmsford. Public protection is our top priority, and we've launched an investigation into this incident. Absolutely ridiculous. That's the situation we're in. That's why I do these videos. That's why we must stay on point. We must challenge, and we must stick together. Please do subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.